Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. My name is Michelle Boulay and I am a life and business coach, a healer, and a dancer. And today I am doing a live with a client who's worked with me. I think we met maybe 2 years ago when I was teaching in Seattle, and she'll be jumping on here in just a second. But we're going to talk about how commitment works in creating the business that you love, creating the life that you deeply desire, because I've really watched Hannah go through a process of literally, she's not on here yet, but sitting in a circle of about 40 people in a room in Seattle and just seeing this amazing woman talk about kind of how self-conscious she is about her own confidence. Like I remember that moment when we were going around the circle and everyone was saying things, and that came up for her. And since then, she has built a successful Pilates business online. She was able to leave a job that she did not like at all. And here she is. She's probably gonna request to get in here. So just give us 1 second. There she is. Hey, Melanie. And hey, Hannah.
Hi.
Hi. So, so I was just bragging about you and the things that you've been able to do. Oh yeah, the light is it's like a little funny.
Is it a little much? See,
It was
it's like all or nothing with me for the lighting situation.
all or nothing, constant influx. But you can hear me. Yeah, so there we go. Now I can see your face better. I was just bragging about you, telling everybody where we met, which I think was 2 summers ago. Is it only 2 summers ago?
It might have been 2 or 3 summers ago.
2019. I think it might have been 20. I don't know. I think it might maybe 2019 or 2018. Can't remember. But what I was saying is I remember, meeting in that circle and you kind of just admitting something about your own self-consciousness and you almost brought it back there for a second. But in the ways that I've seen you grow past that. So we met that way, and then you started doing Meditate, Move, Heal when I started that when lockdown started last year. And then you did the self-love course, you did Creative People Making Money, you did a small group coaching intensive with me. And I think what would be really helpful for people to hear is, for us to talk about commitment, about embracing your truth, and about what has happened with your business and what you've been able to make possible in your business. And also, you have a great partner that's doing a similar thing as you that I've worked with also, if you haven't looked up Cellar Door Cooking. But I think one thing I want to celebrate you for and take note of is that I feel like I rarely had to convince you. I don't think I ever had to convince you. We'd have a call booked to do a course or something. And you'd be like, I want to sign up. And that's not something that a lot of people do. I even struggle with that at times. So I would love to hear what you have to say about, how do you get to that commitment so quickly and with so much confidence and assurance?
So I think for me, it's kind of a good news, bad news situation. The bad news for me was when I first met you, I was in a job that was the structure of which was no longer serving me. I was feeling really beat down in my body. I was living with a lot of chronic pain, and for years I had struggled to sort of get over the hump of I had these things I was unhappy with and I hadn't done anything about them for a long time. And I think it was so easy for me to say yes to you because we met at the right moment where I was at critical mass. I was so unhappy. I so did not feel the way I wanted to feel in my life or in my body that when the opportunity came along to do something to shift that, there was no universe in which I was going to turn that down. I was a little bit desperate. And my mission when I work with people, and I think your mission too, is to catch people before that point. If at all possible, right? It's so easy once you're at that critical mass to say yes to something, but then the workload is so much heavier. If you can get yourself, if I could go back and do anything differently, I would just say yes sooner.
Okay. Well, I have a question then too, because I agree. You know, a lot of people say yes because they're moving away from pain rather than towards the thing they want. So, what is it that allowed you to continue to say yes? Because you got out of the pain. You know, you
Yeah.
were telling me great things last year, or was it, yeah, last year, even in the summer, before self-love course, before other things. And then you kept saying yes. So what is it in you that can help inspire other people and can help even, motivate the people who are listening to this, motivate your clients to stay on the yes train?
I think one of the most important parts of working with you through Meditate, Move, Heal and the Self-Love course, which were the two first things that I did, was learning to get really sensitive to my own wants, needs, and desires. And once I got sensitized to those and became very aware of them, they started to really be inspiring forces in my life. I made a big move I had been planning for a long time. I started a business, and I had this feeling of, I'm going to enter this new chapter of my life. I want to do it the right way. I want to give this time the attention and care that it deserves, which for me has always meant bringing in a team of people that I trust to help me. And I think that what really helped move me was working with you, I started to believe that more was actually possible. And once I believed that, saying yes got easy because I knew that the results would come if I kept moving in that direction.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I love what you're saying also about bringing in a team of people because we need that. Like, I know I need my mindset coach. I need my healer. I need my person I go to see, for body work once or twice a week. So I think that's a really beautiful thing to help people remember that it's okay to be supported. And, I think, I mean, what I would love to hear from you, because this is a result of commitment, right? Like you moved, you started your business. Like what's another, I mean, I know one of your celebrations, that's happening later this year, but I think just to share, like what's on the other side, two things. What do you do when doubt shows up? And then I would love to hear like what's another celebration or celebrations that you can say are the result of the commitment that you have made.
I love those questions. So doubt has been a really big part of my process, and I used to perceive that having doubt meant something was wrong somehow. I was like, oh man, if I'm having this negative reaction or these negative feelings, like maybe I really screwed up somewhere.
Mm.
I've in fact learned it's often the opposite. The things that are sort of the most like stressful to commit to, the things that sort of keep me up at night for a little bit, those things used to really freak me out, and now those are the things that get me excited. Working with a copywriter is something I've started recently, and that was a decision I was just like, whew, is my business big enough to do this? Like, is this a worthwhile investment? Essentially questioning, was my business worthy of investing in at this higher level? Which the answer is like, yes, of course, how silly. But that feeling of like, I don't know, for me, it's kind of that deep breath feeling that like, whew, here we go. That used to feel like doubt and fear, and now it feels like anticipation and excitement. And again, that goes back to that getting really, really sensitive, because doubt and fear are real things that need to be listened to. They can give us really important messages, but unless you really are able to identify the difference in your own body and in your own mind between those two things, they can look so similar, and it can really trick you into not taking that leap into the next step. Another great example of that, something that I'm having that deep breath feeling about right now, is that I am spending this winter traveling in Europe for 3 months, which is something that my partner and I have always wanted to do. And it's a huge investment of time and money, and there's logistics involved. And it definitely makes me kind of be like, okay, let's do this, gotta buckle up. But and I think that might have scared me out. I know it has scared me out for years. There's a reason I haven't done it before. But because I know with a lot of clarity that that's something I want for my life, I have a willingness to move through that discomfort, because I know that the other side is going to be totally worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I think one thing that maybe is not totally apparent to people here is that you made decisions. You know, you didn't sit in like on the fence for long times at all. It was just like, yes, I'm going to do this. And I think that's such an important thing for people to learn because, you know, myself included, it's like, okay, I want to do this right. I want to make the perfect choice. And it's like, no, you just make a choice and you make it work. So I just want to celebrate that about you. And also the fact that, you know, part of that is you are living this dream. You created this business pretty much during the pandemic, right?
Oh, in the middle, I started my big business in August of 2020.
Yeah.
So like right in the middle.
Yeah. And I know that you're reaching a financial goal that you probably wouldn't have not thought was possible before, even a year ago, maybe.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would say 100%.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then I would love, it's 11:11 here, make a wish. Um, yay. I would love for you to share about how you work with people and how this also translates into the work that you're doing so people can know how they can, you know, I feel like people who have studied this work, it's funny, you know, like my peers who are in like different trainings with me, they're like, oh my God, I don't think I can talk to someone who hasn't done that training because it's like an elevation and a total paradigm shift of your mindset. So, you know, I know you're the owner of Clarity Pilates, and I imagine that this feeds right into your business also and helping people to stay committed to taking care of themselves. And I'll just say this too, I'm kind of saying a lot, but I did have an amazing session with you. When was that? That was maybe was it over a month ago when I was in town. So we did an in-person session, and it did you know, like Pilates can have people can think like it's like about doing the hundreds. You're like pumping your arms and like, you know, but it was really, I just felt like, oh my God, my body feels aligned. I feel charged and sort of like lifted and grounded to go through my day. So all of that stuff, like how does this blend into your work? And can you just speak more about what you love helping people achieve?
Yeah, definitely. This is where I get really excited. So it's been a really great journey. And again, going back to that like personal clarity about how I want to approach Pilates now that I've moved away from any other, you know, studio affiliation or culture, and really what is my approach. And I always like to say that Pilates is kind of a panacea. Like it's just amazing for you name it. Like throw something. I've seen people use it to almost like energy work to build like identity and self-confidence. I've seen people use it to heal injuries. I've seen people use it to train for marathons. I've seen people use it so that they can play with their grandkids. I've seen people use it so that they can like, you know, go on long hikes with their dog. Just essentially it's there to help you achieve whatever it is you want to in life. It's this beautiful foundational system. But then the question for that is, for me, is of all those things, I love working with a huge variety of people, but where do I want to really put my focus? And for me, it's really about how can I use Pilates to help people live the lives that they want. So I feel like so many movement systems like CrossFit, like yoga are built around a culture, right? Like it's a lifestyle. If you're like a CrossFit person, there's like a whole bunch of things that go with that. Same for so many other movement modalities. Pilates is a little bit different. Pilates is like, listen, we want to get you efficient care for your body. You want to get in, get out 45 to 50 minutes, then you can go and live the life you want to live. You can have the energy you want to have. You can feel confident in your body being resilient against injury. And you can go and do all the things that you want to do out in the world. So that's what I'm really passionate about. And one of my favorite things is when I have people who start, it's actually just happened with someone recently. She was a dancer who was going through some really intense injuries and has been, you know, pretty static in her body for a couple of years. And we've been working together now for 4 months. She does private sessions with me, and she also does my group classes. And she sent me an email the other day where she was like, you won't believe this, but I just did like a HIIT workout with a personal trainer. I've never done, like, I have tried to do those things before and I've never been able to do it. And now my body actually is like craving this higher intensity movement. Or she'll send me a text of like, I just stayed up dancing all Saturday night with my friends at this beautiful like salsa group. And I woke up the next morning and I felt so sore in like all the best ways. And I just felt so good. And like, that's the thing for me where I'm like, success, like when your body feels so good that it wants more, that it wants to get out in the world and start being more vibrant and vital and like work itself to exhaustion in a safe and healthy and invigorating way. That's when I'm just like, we did it. You're doing the thing. I get so excited. So it's not just about come do Pilates and then like, that's the only thing you need to do. Ideally, you come do Pilates so that you can go out and do even more.
Yeah. And yes, I love that. And it's like, so that what? Like, you want to do this, why? Because otherwise, I think they have this mental idea like, oh, I'm supposed to do this, but there's no context for how it affects their entire lives. So I would say, ooh, someone just gave us some good hearts for that. So, hey, so I would say, if you're curious, like you have a lot of free programs that you're doing also, right? Or just like guides that you have. I know more on Facebook, but tell us where the best places that people can find you and connect with you.
So you can find me on Instagram at Clarity Pilates Online, and up in my bio, there's a little link tree, Clarity Pilates Community, and you can connect there to my YouTube channel, which has, at this point, getting close to 100 free workouts on it. You can also find more information about my live online mat classes and working with me privately online. And there's also a connection there to some of the free resources you mentioned, which is going to be my free guides, my free I make workout series. So if you're working on something like low back pain, you know that these 7 workouts that I've curated for you are going to be safe and progressive and appropriate for your back pain. And if you ever have a hard time finding any of those things, you can always send me a DM as well, or check out clarityclassicalpilates.com and send me an email.
Great. So there's lots of different ways to find you. This is making me want to I just kicked my leg. You can't see it. As a dancer, but someone who's been doing this coaching work for quite some time now and really in it for this duration of the pandemic. Like I took a class last night and I was like, oh my God, I need to move. So, yay, Melanie says we'll definitely check it out. So, go get your body aligned with Hannah. Come to me, work on your business and your life. It's a great combo. And I just want to celebrate you for all that success. And I can't wait to see the photos and hear the stories that you and Ian are going to be living in. Tell me the cities in Europe.
We're going to London, Paris, Lyon, Turin, and Milan.
Okay. Amazing. Oh my God. And I can't wait to taste the pasta after you guys spend some time in Italy. What you can cook up with that. So like huge congratulations to you. I mean, I even just in saying this, I remember you having these doubts of like, I want to move to this small town. Like, how am I going to be able to charge what I want? How am I going to build a business where you moved from Seattle, like a huge city with a lot of thriving businesses, but you created a business in Moscow, Idaho, and it's successful. And now you're mobile, which is amazing. So congrats.
Thank you, Michelle, so much for everything. I truly mean it when I say it would not have happened without you.
Thank you. It's total pleasure. All right, people, check out her work and leave a comment. Share this with anybody. Thank you for the hearts and just celebrating these successes. Okay, bye.
Bye.